Welcome back from that commercial break. New day, just so that you're watching at TV1. Over the week, that this happened. Actually, it happened on Tuesday, where we saw Dr. Kano Kizza Besigye, the former president of FDC, who is in prison of late. He came out and under his lawyers, Elias Lukwago, and they sued the government and the CDF, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, over his Kenyan abduction, and also saying that they violated his constitutional rights. Remember, Dr. Kano Kizza Besigye was arrested on the 16th of November 2024 in Nairobi after allegedly the government says he had plots of overthrowing the government via very many and in a violent way. But under his lawyers, they came out and sued the government, saying that they violated his rights, and they also criticized how the CDF General Muhoozi Kainerugaba would write onto his ex-handle, saying that he will be killed or he will be killed or no. Heroes Day that we just concluded a few days back, but this came out and said that this is not right and they are violating his rights under the Constitution. Doctor, should we say Dr. Kano Kizza Besigye is right taking action of suing the government?
Yes, come on. Yes, that is his legal. Come on, he's a Ugandan. He has rights. He has rights, most especially when he has not, like the government has not, the sentence has not been pronounced. He's a Ugandan. That doesn't take away his right of being a Ugandan. Two, the question of him being tried in a military court, I think that was a little bit solved.
But then, yes,
it was a little bit solved. That was something that was a right step. That was, one of the right steps in the right direction, taking him away. I think right now the case is in Nakawa.
No, it's at the High Court.
The High Court, yes, yeah. So the case is getting out to be a little bit civil because they're charging him of treason. He's being charged of treason and misprision. Misprision is almost connected to treason, using a little bit of treacherous activities to overthrow the government, and the cases he somehow got involved. The case areas of jurisdiction where I got involved in the cases include Uganda, Kenya, that's Nairobi, and then Athens, that is Greece, and Switzerland, that's Geneva, that they were in a position to follow him around. And they got the sufficient evidence that could get him incriminated. So the case is turned to be a little bit political. His lawyers have really tried to give their best to ensure that their client is, reprimanded in the right manner and in the right way. Yes, but definitely he has stood up as a strong person to ensure that. I got to know about Besigye. When did you get to know about Besigye?
I was very young.
Which year?
2002.
I think for me it was 2001.
2001.
I think,
and the first election that happened, I remember.
And I've never had anything positive about him since then.
I remember
for the 25 years I've had about Dr.
In 2005, 2004, he was allegedly arrested for assaulting a young girl.
No, it was not even assault. It was
defilement.
Rape.
Yes.
It was defilement. I think the lady was called Chakwa. Yeah, the lady was called Chakwa. I remember the name. We used to read some headlines.
Then later on, we came into Walk to Work. If you recall, you remember that. Yes, I knew. I've taken time reading about Dr. Kano Kizza Besigye.
Do you think he can be a hero?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he opened a way for the opposition side, being that, if you recall, when you talk about opposition, you cannot skip. Actually, the first person that will come out is Dr. Kano Kizza Besigye. He played a very big role to oppose government roles, and the way government was, actually, he did a very big role when it came to checking the government, because the opposition side always checks the government. What have they done wrong? What have they done right? And he would credit where they were right, and when they are wrong, he would come out and say, this is wrong. For example, if you recall the days of Walk to Work, heavy actually price for commodities. Yes, commodities were very prices on commodities were very high, and he decided that we should walk to work fuel prices are high, sugar prices are high, So I would say
that was very impactful.
Yes, and very many people laid down tools and they decided to work with him. Elias Lukwago by then,
Semujunganda,
yes, and they walked to work, but due to very many things, actually, but he has been arrested very many times, treason. Most of the time, he has been charged with treason. So it's not the first time, but we don't know where even the case end up, and you see him being released, and the case is nowhere to be seen. But this time around, I think it is very, very serious, because they have applied for bail so many times, but they have been denied bail with his counterpart, that is Abed Lutale.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, like for the last 25 years, you hear of the name Dr. Kizza Besigye. He's either police, tear gas, prison, actually
protests.
Around I come from Kasangati Gayaza, so we are known for having a lot of cases around Kasangati, and most cases actually people were saying that basically is no longer sleeping in Kasangati. He sleeps in Nagalama police station.
I know there.
Yeah, because each and every time you get arrested, they will take him to Nagalama. So his home area became Nagalama instead of Kasangati. So I think he has gone through a lot. For 25 years. Each and every time you get to know of a name called Tomanya Kotawasa. Sorry. Okay. No, I don't want to say. Like, he doesn't come into media for maybe attending a wedding.
Yes, or a function.
Maybe the son is graduating. Like, you don't get in that. Each and every time the name Besigye comes in, it is either him being tear gassed, him being arrested, him in the courts of law, him, So I think he has lived a very tough life. I don't think so many people can sustain that. It's a hunger strike, I remember there was a gentleman called Alina Yitwe where I tear gassed him, he pepper sprayed him actually.
In the car?
Yeah, pepper sprayed him in a car around Kubiri in Molago here.
Yes.
Someone hit his glass that was covering the car window, and then he hit it with using like almost the part of a gun, and then he got him out and pepper sprayed him directly. And that's when they flied him to Nairobi for treatment, Aga Khan Hospital. I think he has gone through a lot as a person. And it's because of that background. I wanted you to say something that's like that we both agree that...
and also he's the patron of the PFF, a newly formed political party that came out of the FDC. After he said that because FDC had lost value, that they had left the constitution that they had come up with at the beginning at the foundation of the party. So he decided to come in support, and we saw very many of people that sided with him left the FDC and came to PFF. For example, Ambassador Waiswabiligwa, he was one of the big people in FDC.
He was a
chairman, but now he's in a PFF, and of course, he's being looked upon by very many people. So I would say, being that he's a patron, and actually the concluded elections, very many people thought that Besigye would come back under the PFF card, but he didn't. But he stayed behind, and he became the patron of the party.
Yeah, it has been very deadly. It has been very hard for him as a person. I don't think we could. I don't think so many Ugandans can sustain that treatment. I personally, I don't think I can. That's why when he tries out to seek for any kind of legal interpretation or legal support, fortunately he's doing it legally. I think he should be accorded some of the support that he requires to get as a person. I think he has gone through a lot. I don't want to say that it's not needed, but he has gone through a lot. He has gone through a lot as a person. And most of the things that he talks about are real, are just because the way our interpretation of issues and engagement and the advocacy that he has done, like you've said, he has created space for so many people to learn how to stand up for themselves. Some people think that when you come against the government, that disqualifies you from being a Ugandan. Actually, a serious Ugandan should be in a position to because of being here in the democratic space, people should be in a position to speak out their minds. Just because I speak against the national platform doesn't mean that I don't like Kyagulanyi. No, I just don't agree with him. Just because someone is against maybe Baram or the NRM government, that doesn't mean that they don't support the NRM government. Yes. No, as a Ugandan, I have rights. I have shares in this country. Yes, you have shares too, my brother. So you have shares too.
I do have shares,
yeah, you have shares too. And the civic space should be very open. And when there is attack that has made to people like Besigye, now the civic space is coming down. Like people are not allowed to speak out what they really want. And we have a say. I don't so much agree with America on so many policies, but the kind of democracy those people have, man, you just enjoy it. To the extent that someone can come up and say that, please, Donald Trump, I don't agree with you on such and such and such. And Donald Trump takes it on. It's called the political maturity. Yes. It's called knowing that just because you are a leader, this country does not belong to you.
True.
You know, we should be in a position to do what is right, most especially following the document. I don't like the Constitution that much, but it's what you've chosen to follow as Ugandans. And just because I don't like it, that doesn't disqualify me from from enjoying the privileges that are being provided by the document.
Yes.
So I think we need to understand that, and that is what civic education was doing. Civic education was doing to make Ugandans get to know. And that gap was covered by political parties. Political parties, that's why I was very, very happy when the National Unity Platform came up with a school, which was demolished. And you were like, who does that? You know? So at the end of the day, these are the institutions that can help Ugandans get to understand that just because someone is airing something out doesn't disqualify them, doesn't mean that they are against the growth and development of the country. No, they are very real and they are enjoying all what they are supposed to enjoy constitutionally. So because of that, I think Besigye has created that space that so many of the people have enjoyed and so many people are still enjoying. So when you get to know that he's undergoing through or that kind of undergoing that mistreatment, and how it has been handled, the political bit of it that is coming in, the phone calls from above that are coming in, you really fail to understand the kind of direction. Now, if a person like him can get that kind of treatment, then what about the political prisoners that were arrested in 2021? What about the political prisoners? You understand? What about Waiswa Mufumbira, who was denied access even to come and treat his wife, even including attending the burial. You know, even the prisoners have what you call marital rights.
Yes, I do.
You know, when a prisoner is locked and is married, the wife is supposed to visit them.
Visit, yes.
And the prisoners, I mean the service providers or the government is supposed to give him space. Just because I'm a Ugandan, just because I'm in prison, doesn't take away my conjugal rights. Okay. If my wife comes, I'm supposed to have time. You know, that's what democracy is all about. You know, not until even when someone is charged guilty, even when someone is guilty by any kind of extent, rights don't go away from them. You know, so we need to understand that, and that is what political education was doing. That is what civics was doing, and that all those were washed away. And then political parties have not been allowed to exercise that right as well. Because at least, banaya fuzi babusa abantu. Bobi Wine akuita kulabisa, right? Bayinenge jabalabisa abantu. And people get to understand that it's my right to participate and vote. You know, and not only voting with the ticket that I give to someone, but also with the voices that I raise, you know, democratically, without, you know, maybe undermining the authorities and all that. So this is about democracy. You don't look at Besigye and think that the mistreatment is going through, it's up to him. No, there are people like Mufumbira, there are people like Mwanga Kivumbi, there are so many political prisoners that were arrested 6 years ago. No one knows where they are, you know. But the Prime Minister was asked about Chibalama. It was on the record.
And also, actually, even this week, the Vice President and the Prime Minister they were told to talk about Chibalama. I remember the Prime Minister said Chibalama is in is it? He was outside of the. Is he outside of the country?
No. She said Fetu Molina. No, that's what she said initially. He said Fetu Molina, and then this time around, I think this very week when she was asked, she said the Chibalama was talking about is not that one. But there were two communications. The one from the vice president was saying, we seriously need to get into, we need to look into it. That's what the vice president said.
Yes.
And it was a little bit of a serious political statement. So she did so much lock herself in. But the prime minister had locked herself in initially by saying Feto Modina, right? And then she comes out and says the Chibalama you mentioned is not that one. But at least the communication of the vice president was a little bit very ambiguous. He said, no, let's come up with investigations. Now that was a serious political statement. You know, it was a wise, okay, it was a better statement. At the end of the day, as a government,